What's up, guys? Bam, and welcome to another edition of Wolf King's Vids. Okay, we're gonna be talking about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, along with the story. Gaza Strip missile fire destroyed largest hospital in Gaza City. Gaza Strip missile fire destroyed the largest hospital in Gaza City on Monday after the violation of a temporary ceasefire agreement from Israel officials. There are only a few hospitals left in the Gaza Strip, which most of them being privately supported by outside sponsors such as Europe, Indonesia, sources said. The Shifa Medical Hospital is one of the most affluent rehabilitation centers in the Gaza Strip. The explosion landed on the street next to the facility where a makeshift refugee camp was set up, killing at least 10 people. Meanwhile, Israeli officials denied targeting the hospital and alleged they were not responsible. However, they have publicly blamed Gaza terrorists for the deadly incident in Gaza Strip. However, according to certain other sources, evidence suggested that the IDF were basically involved in a drone strike of that particular hospital. Now, this has been the second hospital strike that's actually been done out in the Gaza Strip, and the main the problem with this is with the more terrorism and counterterrorism that's actually going to be, going back to and fro as a cause and effect play. There's going to be no room for progress to be made in this region of the world. So the question remains, with the violence being on both sides, how do we address this? Well, we need to understand the history of this problem now, don't we? Historically, Jews have been scapegoated and discriminated against for many centuries. One of the greatest and horrific examples was the Holocaust, in which 6 million of them were massacred. Now, upon seeing this, the UN gave the survivors of the Holocaust, as well as Jewish people abroad, a state in which they could live on and have a strong nation. And at that time, they gave them Israel, which at the time was Palestine. It was essentially like the New Worlders coming to America, where you already have Native Americans, and said, "Hey, what's up, guys? We're gonna be your new neighbors, but we're gonna take up most of the spots. So don't get too mad about that." And the Palestinians are all like, "What the fuck?" So ultimately, it erupted in violence. Most of the violence coming from the Palestinians, because they were sort of like pissed off in that there are foreigners coming in, taking away most of the region, and the state of Israel being backed by the U.S., they essentially have the firepower to fight back against the Palestinians and essentially reduce them to refugee status. So as their nation remains strong and vigilant, theirs remains dwindling and scarce. Like examples such as this. So with that, it's not surprising that they've developed like terrorist groups like Hamas, trying to fight against Israel when Israel has most of the power and is sort of acting in a way that would be sort of reminiscent of the original discrimination and scapegoating that they've received throughout these years. But how do we get to a common sort of like a common ground, like something we could actually all agree upon? Now, the extreme on the Palestinian side say they don't want Israel to exist at all, and that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. The Jews still need their state, and it's already been established, so there's no way of changing that. However, that doesn't mean the Palestinians aren't disqualified from having a state of their own. I mean, they deserve it from having to deal with the crap that the Israelis have given them. My view, in my opinion, is, which would be the best, is in my view, would be the 1947 plan, which essentially makes like their land, the land that the Palestinians would have, equal on the status of the state of Israel. They would have room to basically get their needs like food, water, shelter, all that good stuff, and you know the Israelis would have their stuff without being messed with by the Palestinians because they don't have everything else. You got to give the Palestinians statehood in order for them to be happy and live better lives. If that was the case, then there'd be less terrorism on both sides. But if we're gonna keep like endorsing like power plays and holy wars in a modernized global community that we have right now, then honestly we should just leave these people the fuck alone. If we're not trying to bring peace to the Middle East, then there is no point in endorsing or even dealing with them because it is going to lead humanity like to ruin. It's going to produce nothing productive or vital to us. So with that's just the way I see it. It's either we give the Palestinians statehood and have the Israelis and the Palestinians live in an egalitarian society and world, or we cut off ties from Israel and stop supporting them because this is honestly this is not productive of any good civilization. This is essentially the same stuff that the people in that region have been endorsing for many years, and nations like helping it is not it's not going to make anything great. That's the way I see it. But yeah, this is Wolf King. Peace out. Sape out. They dare to know. If you like this video, you know what to do, and I'll see you.